It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
The NBA season is in high gear, and we are so glad to have you here with us on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith. In this game, we'll see the Charlotte Hornets going up against the Orlando Magic. Well, for Orlando, the season hasn't gone as smoothly for them as I'm sure they hoped it would. The good news is we still have a good chunk of it left to play, but if they're going to make a run, they better do it soon. And one of the guys you're going to see in the paint, the former Trojan Nick Vucevic, he has established himself as an impact player in this league. Kenny, what role do you see him having on a team?
He has been one of my favorite players that has not made the playoffs. His ability to dominate, he has SLN, Ernie. You know what that is? Tell him, Shaq. What's that?
Shoots like me.
Shaq-like numbers.
Oh, okay, my bad. I'm sorry. I thought you said M.
He gets Shaq-like numbers in Orlando, man.
Bad.
This guy's getting it done.
I thought you
one
said
of my
SLM.
favorite. Oh,
my bad.
I am done with this one.
Ernie, let me give you and Kenny a little bit of O'Nealology.
Okay.
Anybody's last name who's ever played in the league, name ends with IC, can play, can shoot. Maravich. Stojakovic.
That's ICH.
Same thing,
Okay.
itch.
It's that sound.
It's
Yes,
the
Maravich.
sound. Okay, all right.
Stojakovic. And my favorite, O'Nealovich.
Okay.
You know, these guys have been very offensive his entire career. I like to see him more become more a focal point on offense.
Hey,
Itch. You itching?
yeah, I couldn't quite reach it.
That's kind of offensive right there.
I had that itch.
Okay. Oh, the itch.
Oh,
You had the itch.
oh,
I
the
get it.
itch. Oh, got it.
Now to Kevin Harlan itch.
Shut up, itch.
The city of Charlotte, North Carolina is the setting for our broadcast tonight. And isn't the view magnificent? Hello, everyone. Welcome to another exciting broadcast of the NBA on 2K Sports. Kevin Harlan here with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter is David Aldridge. They came out on top in their last match on Wednesday. It was a close game. They needed overtime to finish them off.
They needed a few extra minutes to get the W in that game, but they got it just the same.
I like the way they handled themselves in that overtime period, Greg. They had a whole lot left in their game in that extra period.
Now it's send it down to David Aldridge, standing by from the sidelines. David?
Well, Nick Vucevic is from a basketball family. His father, Borislav, played professionally until age 44. Nick said, "I used to watch him practice every day. He taught me everything, not just skill-wise, but how to live as an athlete, being mentally ready for the ups and downs. Even today, he's kind of my personal coach. He tells me what he sees and how I can get even better." Kevin?
Big advantage, DA. Thanks.
Boy, the Magic last season improved by 10 wins. That's nice progress for a young team, and I think they'll continue to make progress, especially at the defensive end of the floor.
So the Hornets win the tip. Now the starting group for Orlando. Gordon down low with Vucevic. The guard tandem is Payton and Fournier. And it's Ross in at the 3. And for the Magic, middle of the pack defensively last season, but you think they'll continue, guys, to make strides?
Oh, I do. I think they've got too much talent not to when you look at the personnel that they have that plays at that end of the floor. And first-year head coach there, Frank Vogel, is a defense-first coach, so that'll bode well for the Magic continuing to grow and potentially, I think, be a top 10 defensive team, maybe even as soon as this season.
Here's Bellinelli following the score by Aaron Gordon. Kaminsky.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious.
It's his first trip to the line. The free throw drops for Kaminsky.
And the one thing for the Hornets, I mean, they had horrible luck last season from an injury standpoint. Never really able to put that starting 5 out there for any consistent stretch of the season. I mean, huge injuries to Big Al and MKG were the most notable, and that really dampens your ability to develop chemistry.
Here's Payton. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Boston. Ross on the wing. That's in, coming off an assist from Payton. Ross has got his first 2 points of the night. And for the Hornets, injuries are a tough obstacle to overcome. They were able to fight through some of that, but surely it slowed him down.
Yeah, Kevin, it's just hard to get into a rhythm when you're missing key components. Luckily, though, I think it gave the Hornets a chance to give minutes to younger guys and get them some confidence.
And the call will be against Fournier. That is his first foul of the game. Orlando on D. It's a nice pass in here by Charlotte. A step back shot here. It's good.
The quick step back gave him just enough separation to get that one up.
First quarter of play with about a minute and a half gone. Payton drives in. Hands with the ball out of bounds. Fournier last touched it. For Charlotte, they've gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Walker against Payton. From deep. Walker's shot is off. Here's Fournier coming off a stellar performance against Boston. Vucevic, a screen on Kid Gilchrist. Oh, Vucevic in position. One-on-one fast break from 10 feet out. That's good from Kid Gilchrist on the assist by Walker. Charlotte on D. 4-point game. This, of course, their first opportunity to play Orlando this season.
And as you would expect, they came out on top in last season's series against this club, but no reason to expect anything different this time around.
Exactly. Guys, they're clearly the better team, but you can't take anybody for granted. They're all NBA players. They get their checks twice a month across the league, so you've got to come prepared and focused and ready to play.
Here's Kid Gilchrist. The Magic getting the bucket. Can't connect from 13 feet out. There's the pass to Gordon. And Vucevic kicks to Fournier. Passes it to Gordon. Down low and slam dunk by Vucevic.
And how about the way Vucevic leaps off the floor? I mean, showing no respect or remorse when he attacks the rim.
Now here's Walker. 17 points for him last game against Detroit.
And also defensively, guys, he kept them off balance with 4 steals on the night. I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
To the middle. It's stolen by Kaminsky. And Alfred Payton with the foul. That's his first foul. Just under 3.5 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Kid Gilchrist, a screen on Fournier. And Bellinelli kicks to Kaminsky. Pass to O'Brien. Leans inside.
Man, I like that defense from Gordon. He's a guy that makes you uncomfortable if he's guarding.
Just lazy defense on the glass there.
Well, nobody boxed out. Nobody put a body on anybody else. Things like that not only drive the coach crazy, that stuff gets under my skin.
Jeff Green is checked in for Orlando. For Charlotte, they have gone 2 for 2 in the game at the line.
And taking a look at their free throw statistics on the season, right around 74%.
And Kevin, it's something they've been working very hard to correct and to change. I mean, they know how important it is to fix that inability at the free throw line.
Payton against Walker.
Well, you know what? All good things must come to an end, and they finally miss after making their first 4.
Lets it go from deep. Payton with some nice D. Looking at the last game for Charlotte, it was a loss to the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, it's just hard to make up when you have an inability to make free throws consistently, and that's why they ended up losing.
Yes, sir. I think some doubt started to creep in when they kept missing those foul shots. And you could see them start to shy away from wanting to even go to the line.
The Magic shooting their first free throws of the game on this trip to the line.
And when you look at that free throw percentage on the season, they're right around 73%.
You know, they've really put themselves behind the 8 ball in so many of their games because they just have not been able to knock down those foul shots.
And you look at the identity of this Magic team, they've got a lot of players with high motors and high work ethic.
Yeah, it's about building a culture. I mean, you have to run on 2 tracks when you're building a team that's going to win long term. You've got to build the culture and stockpile talent, and you've got to do both. They want to play unselfishly. They want a physical brand of basketball, defensive-minded in their approach, and they want players with those kind of intangibles, and I think they've got a number of them right now.
And Fournier kicks to Ross, out of bounds. Charlotte takes possession. And a moment here to look at where the shots have been coming from.
And the three-point game stands out as a major sore spot. It just has not been falling for him. I think at this point you start to get away from that shot. Try to engage in other parts of the offense. You don't want to hurt your team if that long ball isn't there.
Charlotte has gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Outside, Walker kicks to Kaminsky. Back to Walker. Feeds it to Kid Gilchrist. Walker with a screen for Kid Gilchrist. 4 on the clock. And they'll turn it over. Could not get off a shot. 24-second violation.
All right, a chance to look at the numbers now for Walker. How's the last month of basketball been for him? 8th in steals. And he's right up there in the top 20 in scoring. Certainly a force to be reckoned with offensively.
And talk about highway robbery. I mean, jumping the passing lanes, snatching away your dribble. He'll take it from you.
Here's Ross, and the jam by Ross.
That is ferocious.
You said it. That was ferocious.
Ammonia strong, we call that. Wear that rim out.
So it's the Hornets now. The Magic getting the bucket. Here's O'Brien. A look at his stats. He averages a bit over 8 points a game.
They are really doing a nice job establishing a presence inside early.
And watch, Clark, how the game plays out, because this is going to open things up on the perimeter.
Now here's Payton. Pass to Vucevic. Dishes to Ross. Low block shot. Malinelli pulls it in. Hornets have gone 5 of 12 from the field since the opening tip. Walker in the corner from outside the arc. Good on the three-point shot. Walker's got 5 points so far.
And no matter who it is, that kind of D isn't going to get it done.
Walker against Payton. He kicks it to Fournier. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Malinelli for 3. Orlando grabs the miss. Down low from inside. That shot no good.
Boy, they were ready for him right there. I mean, totally collapsed the defense on him. Yeah, that one put him over the limit, and if they're not careful, this could turn into a parade at the free throw line.
The Hornets shooting their 4th and 5th attempts at the free throw line tonight. The free throw drops for Kaminsky. One thing that the Hornets do very well, as we all know, is hit the glass. Top to bottom, this team knows how to close out possessions, Greg, and clean up misses on the defensive end.
Yeah, and Kevin, you look at the roster for the Hornets, everyone is helping on the glass. What is odd, that they don't have one guy who averaged huge rebound numbers. It's a true team effort. They are one of the elite teams in limiting offensive rebounds. Cannot be happy with how things have gone during this run. I think it's a good decision to take a break.
Yeah, I agree with you, Greg. I mean, he had to do something. They're getting buffaloed and beat up. He couldn't let that continue. He had to call the timeout there.
Payton against Walker. Payton dishes to Green. To the paint. Here's Vucevic. They can't stop the run with that one. Hornets leading by 5. Here's Kaminsky. The shot's good on the assist by Walker. That's 10 points for Frank Kaminsky.
It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. I mean, that's just exquisite ball movement.
And that's because the ball is looking for the best shot, and it's really paid off for them during the run.
Ross. It's not going to go for him. And it's the Hornets taking it the other way. Bellinelli for three. The shot, no good.
And on an open look like that, he's very gifted at making the weak coverage pay. Wow, the floor just really opened up for him on that possession.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for good offense, but that was just a terrible reaction from the defense.
Now here's Walker. He's got 5. Vucevic with the rebound. Walker against Payton. Top of the key, Fournier. Shoots from the line. And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing. And there's the call. Charlotte the foul.
Like to see Fournier drawing contact on his shots. I mean, he's a crafty player who gives defenses a lot of problems. You know, you look at Evan Fournier, and he's very crafty. He said his favorite player growing up was Manu Ginobili, and I see some similarities in their games. Both are efficient scorers. They're able to make the three and slash and dash inside to finish around the rim.
And he knocks down the first one. And Fournier has slasher's mentality, an excellent finisher around the rim.
And, you know, he's got a really soft touch, too, guys, Fournier. I mean, he can hit the floater. What I'd like to see from him are more free throws. Get to the line and maybe even bump up that assist total as well. I think he's got to find multiple ways to punish defenders as he gets into the lane.
And so Fournier nails both of them.
And what an advantage. You really feel like you can always trust him when he's at the line.
Plumlee with a screen on Augustine. Here's Sessions. A picture-perfect screenplay, and the jumper's good.
Wow, got that one off right in the face of the big fella. Nice quick-fire release.
Yeah, and the mid-range shot really the only option in that situation. Sometimes when you're facing a bigger guy, you can't get it all the way to the rim.
Here's Azania, and looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
Now here's Sessions, leading by 5. Zeller passes to Graham, and Zeller kicks to Graham. Knocks it loose. Sessions dishes to Plumlee. And let's go quickly to the 2K leaderboard to see the ratings of the best passing two guards in basketball. 5th on the list, Evan Fournier.
And what that group has a great understanding of is the importance of ball movement. I mean, they can all create their own shot, but their superb ability to set up teammates really stands out.
Yeah, I think you've got to attribute it to the unselfish attitude that each of them has. I mean, sure, they're going to attack and make sure they get their points, but they get just as much satisfaction in racking up assists, too.
And Orlando making a change here. Meeks is checked in. He's off on the second.
And Mario Hezonja, the 5th overall pick in 2015 out of Croatia. He's played pro basketball from the time he was a teenager, competing in the 2nd best league in the world since age 17. That'll get you ready for the NBA.
And he makes the first.
And trailing here in the early going, too many careless fouls, and they're giving up a lot of trips to the line.
Yeah, not only the trips to the line are a concern, but the foul trouble also. You've got to play defense with your feet and do so without fouling.
Out of bounds. Charlotte takes possession.
All right, a chance to look at the numbers for Jeff Green. How his last 10 games have gone. He's averaging 7 points a game, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. Guys, he's a difference maker off the bench. Steps into that front court and more than holds his own.
You know, his willingness to bang down low, move opponents off the block, those are valuable contributions.
Now here's Plumlee. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 11 points a game. And Augustine kicks to Green. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out east. Already we are in December. Look at the Hornets. They're still struggling, trying to string something together, getting a lot of wins. The competition, though, so tough. And, of course, there's the Magic, a half game back.
And right now for the Magic, they haven't made any of the strides they were hoping to see prior to the season. Again, hanging around at the bottom of the standings.
Yeah, it's full makeover time now, guys. I'm sure they've learned their lesson that this roster is not one that can sustain any kind of success in today's NBA.
The first free throw is good.
And the former Hoya Green, a rangy forward who can both score and defend from all areas of the floor.
And both free throws good for Green. And guys, when you look at the Magic, what would be your recipe for them to improve offensively?
Three-pointers and free throws. I mean, threes and frees, I like to say. Last season shot the second fewest free throws in the league. With their athletes, they've got to find a way to get more trips to the line. And when you look at the threes, I mean, shot a decent percentage, but we're in the bottom third in terms of attempts. They need that floor spacing, so they've got to add some shooters.
Here's Sessions. After the Magic pick up 2. Lets a floater go. No good. That's miss number 2. He's 1 for 3.
Just doing the job on the backboard.
They sure are. I mean, they've done a terrific job carving out space under the basket and then pursuing the ball. You know, it's one thing to box out, but you've got to pursue the ball if you're going to get rebounds. And they look strong here in the early going.
And look at how the hustle game has been going for Charlotte.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
Yeah, and one thing, Clark, I've noticed is how quick their hands have been tonight. Thanks to that, they've gotten a lot of points off of turnover.
A free throw drops for Augustine. Johnny O'Bryant, he's checked in for Zeller. That one misses, so he goes 1 for 2. And stolen by Biyombo. Here's Meeks.
Over the last month, let's see how the Magic performed in the NBA statistics. 7th in second chance points, 9th in fast break points. And they're in the top half of the league in team rebounding as well. They've got some glass eaters on that squad.
And looking again at those second chance points, they might not be the best in that area, but it is still, I think, to their advantage in terms of the outcome of some games.
And that one misses. And he's good on the second. Charlotte in the lead. Lamb with the ball. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Biyombo with the block. From about 19 feet. That's good on the jump shot. And taking a quick look here at the hustle stats for Orlando.
Well, you have to admire their intensity in the paint defensively. I mean, really contesting and even blocking shots. Definitely a factor early.
And also, how about the fact defensively, they're getting that backboard and getting out in transition, especially in this first half.
Clock at 4, and stolen by Biyombo. Here's Azania. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
They set the pick. Here's Sessions. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. Just a moment to look back at how things were last season for this team as we look at the shot breakdown for the Hornets.
And they love to spread the floor with shooting. A lot of three-point attempts, and that's been the league-wide direction, and this group has been no exception.
Gentlemen, 2 shots. Roof shots.
Free throw good, Sessions. And so Sessions nails both of them. And it's Orlando's ball. They're on a 14-6 run. Green, the screen. Augustine passes to Meeks. Augustine dishes to Green from the baseline.
And the length of Green is a real issue for the D. His arms just go forever, which often results in a lot of shooting fouls for him.
He's gone 2 for 2 at the line so far.
And from the line, he's knocking it down about 71% of the time, and that's a percentage that needs to go up.
Guys, he is close to where he was last year in that category, but his numbers are still down just a skosh.
Charlotte making a switch here. Kaminsky's checked in. He hits the second from the line. Charlotte's gone 1 of 5 from downtown in the first quarter. Points out there have been hard to come by. There's 48 seconds left in the first quarter. And Lamb kicks to Plumlee. Second shot opportunity. And Kaminsky lays it up and in. Kaminsky's got 12 in the game.
And that keeps him perfect from the field this quarter.
Now Augustine. And he's going up for the alley-oop. And the dunk by Biyombo.
And how sweet a play was that?
As sweet as it gets. An exquisite pass to set up the powerful alley-oop dunk.
Guys, I tell you, there are assists, and then there are delicious dimes. This was the latter. They've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball into the paint.
Clearly, they've been the aggressors thus far when it comes to attacking the interior in this first half.
Now, here's Green. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. It's tipped. Plumlee with the steal. Tie game here in Charlotte. And we'll be back shortly for the start of the second quarter. And before the game, we heard from Kemba Walker. He talked about his mentality when he steps out onto the floor.
Play free. Just play like you're playing street ball. Just have fun. Just play the game that you've been playing, forever.
Infectious enthusiasm. You see it every time he steps on the floor. And we welcome you back to more NBA action. Players looking hydrated and plenty of Gatorade to help them get their job done tonight. Looking at what we've seen from the Hornets, what do you think?
Well, they dictated tempo with their defense and been able to force some turnovers.
Yeah, and they've also done a good job, Greg, on their end of the floor by not throwing the ball away.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. And so, in the game for the Magic, Hezonja is out there with Gordon. Then it's Jody Meeks. Then there's DJ Augustine. And it's Biyombo at center.
Give credit where credit is due right there. A terrific assist.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, we know Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is an impact player for the Hornets with his great defense. Last season, his shoulder injury set them back. Teammate Kemba Walker said his motor is different. You have to have him on the court. Kevin coach Steve Clifford put it simply, when he's on the floor, we play well. When he's not, we don't.
You can't boil it down more than that, D.A. Thank you. Now, here's Biyombo. No good on that one. And we're about a minute into the second quarter of play. And here's Sessions. The feed to Kaminsky. On the wing, Lamb. Shot clock at 6. Here's Plumlee. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Let's take a quick look now at some stats for Lamb. How last month turned out for him. He's getting around 8 points a game, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. And it's been a bit of a struggle for him. I mean, he can get down on himself at times. He's just got to keep working, and I think things will turn around.
Yeah, this is where his character gets tested, Greg. I mean, his will to fight through adversity is a question mark, but I think he's got a good chance.
So for the Magic, Vucevic checked in for Bismack Biyombo. Terrence Ross comes in for Hezonja, and it's Elfrid Payton in for Augustine. And that one falls, and that puts him up by 1 point. The Magic shooting has been great, up over 50%. In fact, 52%. Payton kicks to Meeks. The dish to Gordon. To the inside, stolen by Walker. And now running up the court, Kid Gilchrist pushing it up. It's blocked. Here's Meeks. To the inside, Vucevic, and a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
And Nikola Vucevic, born to play the game. Both of his parents played professionally. They met in a gym. And his father played in Europe for 24 years, so you can't run away from the DNA.
And the first one drops. And Vucevic with that basketball upbringing, guys, you see that in his skill level, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he can score on the block over either shoulder. He can step out and make the face-up jump shot as well. He's a good passer. Offensively, there's not much he can't do as a big guy.
He doesn't get the second one.
Listen, there's no doubt he feels like they should have the lead, but that miss will keep it all tied up.
Bellinelli passes to Walker. Pick by Zeller. 6 to shoot. And that one comes up a bit short. And it's Orlando's ball. In the second quarter, they've given up just 3 points. The pass to Payton. He feeds it to Ross. That's good. And it's Payton with the assist. Payton's got his 3rd assist on the night. Charlotte trailing. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Walker. Having an efficient 3-point attack. Very tough to defend. Let's see some of the best. 5th on the list, the Magic.
No doubt they have snipers on that roster, that's for sure. It's been a terrific year for them from beyond the arc.
Quarter 2 and just under 2.5 minutes gone by. Payton dishes to Meeks. Pass to Vucevic. Back to Meeks. Got a piece of it. Tries to save it. Out of bounds as Orlando keeps possession.
Over the last month, let's see how the Hornets performed, Kevin, in the NBA stats. 10th in steals, 12th in fast break points. And they're in the top half of the league when it comes to limiting opponents' offense as well.
And let me add a few words about all their steals. I mean, they bring that toughness and aggression defensively. You don't get to be a top 10 team in that category by accident.
Here in the second quarter, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now.
When Gordon gets room to shoot, he will not hesitate now. I mean, he's very confident from that spot on the floor.
Walker with it. He has 5. He dishes it to Bellinelli. Pass to O'Brien. Kicks to Walker. Just 4 to shoot. The Hornets need to get a shot off here. Outside, Bellinelli. Up and in, it's good. First basket of the game for him. 1 for 4 shooting.
The defender there in the neighborhood, but not quite close enough. Good shot.
Feeds to Ross. Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. Back to Fournier. And stolen by Zeller. Pass to Bellinelli, and the shot goes in. Bellinelli's got his second basket of the night. 6 changes of the lead here.
Yeah, both teams still kind of feeling their way through this game.
Gordon inside. O'Brien's there. Payton's shot is off. For Charlotte, they've gone 3 of their first 5 shots to drop here in the second quarter. And Kemba Walker is going to pick up a foul. That's his first foul.
Yeah, way to get there first and be willing to absorb the contact.
No question about it. No flop there. That was a direct shot to the chest. Out of bounds. Charlotte takes possession. Boy, did they ever make a mess out of that one. Terrible turnover. Now, Kid Gilchrist. 11 points for him in that last game against Detroit.
And don't forget about his work on the glass. I mean, he contributed in a number of ways. Nice work on the inside. Hard to get that one up and over the big fella.
Well, it's not supposed to be easy down there, and a little artistry on the inside helped him make it happen. Now here's Payton. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Once again off the mark, Orlando. Charlotte leading by 3. And Kid Gilchrist kicks to Zeller. Here's O'Brien, and misses it off the right side of the rim. Well, that's a bad miss right there. I mean, you'd like to see him be a little more assertive when he has such good position. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there. So far in the game for Ross, he's got 10 points, and they've got to be happy with his work on the glass, too.
They really do. He is not giving up any ground in the paint, and when the ball goes up, you know he's going to be there to fight for it.
The Magic have made 10 of their 14 tries at the free throw line in the game. The first one falls. And he makes both free throws. Now here's Kid Gilchrist. Dishes it to Walker. No good, and tight defense there bothered that shot. If he can improve on what's been a shaky day for him thus far, they could stretch this lead out. And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. And Nikola Vucevic averaging a double-double over the last 4 seasons, and yet there are some questions about how those numbers translate in the win-loss column. Well, you know, he's not especially quick or explosive, and he is big and strong and takes advantage of those attributes. The league seems to be going away from the slower, bigger post-up guys. If you're not a dunker and a shot blocker or a three-point shooter these days, you can get lost in the shuffle a bit, but this guy, Vucevic, brings a lot of good stuff to the table, and I think it's incumbent upon his team to keep him in positions where he can succeed. No good on the second, so he hits 1 of 2. Boy, tell you what, on offense, Vucevic is as talented as they come for a big guy. Has the ability to post up as well as shoot from the mid-range area, and that combination makes him a hard cover. He hit a 3 in the first, but so far has been unable to capitalize here in this quarter. And here's the fast break. Walker leading the way. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2.
I mean, even from over here, you can see that one pretty clearly.
No question about it, Greg. I mean, a ton of contact and a good call by the officials. And last season, Kemba Walker enjoying his best season to date. Many thought that he should have been on that Eastern Conference All-Star roster.
And every year, someone's getting snubbed from being an All-Star. Last year, I felt like it was Walker. Had numbers that were comparable to the other great guards in the league. More importantly, he showed that he's become a leader on his team.
so he gets them both.
It's been a great game for Walker tonight. 9 points, and also those active hands of his have led to a pair of steals.
He can just change a game with his defense, and he's thrown off their rhythm completely the last several possessions.
The passing of Elfrid Payton is so critical to this team. I mean, they really rely on him to set up the offense.
Hornets have gotten a little under 50% of their second quarter shots to find the mark. 4 of 9 all told. Here's Zeller. He can't get it to go. Great D that time from Vucevic. The feed now to Payton. Chance there to take the lead. Missing. Kid Gilchrist, the pass to Walker. He kicks it to O'Brien. Charlotte moving it around. And out of bounds as the Magic will gain possession. And a look here at the shot chart.
Well, they're going to have to look elsewhere for points because he has pulled a Houdini and completely disappeared from the offense in this one. Just no production from him, and nothing seems to be in rhythm for him right now. It's just not his night.
They've been doing a great job of sharing the ball.
And guys, shot A comes to mind for me because right now that offense, it's a smooth operator.
Now here's Gordon, and he can be counted on to put some points on the board every night. He's averaging right around 13.5 points a game. And now the first timeout called here for the Hornets. And Aaron Gordon, growing up, he played hockey and football, track and field, just always wanted to be active, always an athlete.
You know, you hear all kinds of stories, and as a kid, his mother was driving. They were sitting at a busy intersection, and without a word, he hopped out of his seat to run and grab a ball he saw left by the curb. I mean, that reckless go and get it in traffic mentality cuts both ways and certainly serves him well as long as he's on a basketball court and not on a road in traffic somewhere.
Good advice, Clark. Charlotte's gone 1 of 2 on three-pointers here in the second quarter so far. And here is Kid Gilchrist. Jumper off the screen. Breaks a big high bounce and goes in. Bellinelli's got it all tied up now for the Hornets.
Boy, after having a tough time in the first, he's managed to turn it around nicely this quarter.
Payton against Walker. Payton dishes to Gordon. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. And Aaron Gordon, the 4th overall pick back in 2015 by the Magic. And very young for his class. He's 2 months younger than the 2016 top pick, Karl Anthony Towns.
And even as young as he is, guys, I mean, he's more than ready for the rigors of the NBA game. An incredible athlete. He's made his impact first and foremost with his defense and activity on the court, and that always travels well.
Green, he's checked in for Ross. Both free throws good for Gordon.
Got to stay active when Gordon's out there. I mean, his ability to make something out of nothing is huge for this team.
Payton against Walker to the inside. And there's Zeller, and that's good on the assist by Walker. Walker's got his 4th assist in this one. The Magic have gotten exactly half their shots to go down here in the second, 5 of 10. Green, the screen. Payton kicks to Green. Fournier in the corner. From 11 feet away. Nice spin off the left rim and in. Payton's got his first points of the game.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
And O'Brien gets it to go. Here's Fournier. One of the dependable scorers on the team. He's averaging close to 17 points a game. Payton up top, inside, and then Gordon with the dunk.
And Gordon taking advantage of the fact that when he gets up in the air like that, nobody's interested in getting in his way.
The Hornets have gone 7 of 13 from the field since the start of the second. Outside, Walker. The dish to Bellinelli. Zeller, a screen on Gordon. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Out left to the wing. That's a two-pointer from Walker. Offensive rebound, and that one drops. Zeller's got 4 points in the quarter.
Really nice job to convert the putback opportunity there. I mean, he stayed with that play from start to finish. That's something we say about him a lot.
Now, here's Fournier. Here's Gordon, and it's Gordon finishing it off.
And right now, Gordon is on a whole nother level now. I mean, he's not forcing anything. He's really letting the game come to him, and his shots are being taken right in rhythm.
And the Hornets with possession here. The Magic getting the bucket. Walker goes in. O'Bryant kicks to Zeller. And it's Orlando with the rebound. Gordon's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Here's Fournier. That's good. And it's Payton with the assist. Payton's got his 7th assist here tonight.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
You know, the defense, Greg, has really been kept off balance because of the outstanding passes. 4 straight field goals have been made off an assist.
Evan Fournier at 6'7", great size for the shooting guard position. He can swing to a 3-spot at times, too.
Yeah, I like that versatility. I mean, defensively, he's got quick feet, but he can be overpowered at times. I think he wants to be a better rebounder, so working on that part of his game. So I'd say because of that, he's probably a little more comfortable and effective at the 2-spot right now.
So a whole new group on the floor now for Charlotte. So Orlando going with an almost entirely new group here. Biyombo is checked in for Vucevic. Hezonja comes in for Gordon. Jody Meeks, he's checked in for Evan Fournier. And DJ Augustine subbed in for Payton. Now here's Sessions, currently averaging almost 6 points a game. The shot's good from Plumlee.
He's done a nice job, a great job actually, of finding efficient shots here in the second. Shooting percentage always a function of the kinds of shots you get. And he's on a good roll after struggling a bit in the first.
Here's Green. And the pass to Hezonja. There's the pick. It's stolen by Lamb. And it's Graham missing.
Boy, I tell you what, guys, he's an extremely strong finisher. I'm surprised he wasn't able to power that through the defense.
And Green slams it in.
And how about the incredible timing on that alley-oop?
He absolutely hammered it down.
Boy, I tell you what, that's the play we'll remember if they can put together a little surge to break this game open.
Here's Graham after Jeff Green's bucket. Passes to Kaminsky. It's up a 3. Augustine grabs the board. Magic leading by 4. Hezonja, the pass to Biyombo. And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a 3-point play.
Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
Purposeful passing it is, partner. Their last 10 points have all come off assists.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
Not the best statistic for him in terms of his performance at the line. Very low numbers.
I think it's been a struggle for him at the line. He's been scuffling this season. I mean, he's pretty well below the percentage that he shot a season ago, and not quite sure why.
Now here's Sessions. His last outing, he had 8 points. Here's the screen. Lamb busts the J after the cagey pass fake. Lamb's got his first bucket of the night.
Yeah, not a perfectly set screen there, but got him just enough room to get that shot off.
Outside, Green. He lobs up the alley-oop pass. Biyombo, no luck.
Nice effort on the alley-oop, but probably not a good choice.
Yeah, it looked good initially, but then broke down just as quickly.
Now here's Sessions. Green with the block.
They have a 2-for-1 situation if they go quick.
Yeah, I don't think they have to rush, though, Greg. Just need to find a good shot this time.
Buries the long-range jumper. Meeks got 6 points.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Clearly just an example of a different mindset between these teams.
Here's Lamb. To the paint. Here's Plumlee. And off the front iron, and in it goes. Plumlee's got 7 now in this quarter.
And a big height advantage right there.
You know, it's tough to bring a big man that far away from the goal, but that might be a mismatch they're willing to live with.
And that concludes the first half. It's the Magic. They lead by 6. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. Alongside Aaron Gordon. Aaron, you guys came out and played extremely well. What was the mindset in the first half?
We just tried to come out here, really stick to our principles, pick up the pace, and really be aggressive, and it turned out in a high-scoring half.
Just the way you want to play. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you, and stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter started.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the halftime show on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. It was a closely contested first quarter for Orlando. During one stretch, they trailed by 7, never falling behind too far. They really touched on the right formula in the second quarter as they were able to pull out to a 6-point lead before the halftime break. What did you think, Kenny, about what we saw from the Magic?
They were really efficient on offense, shared the basketball well, great shot selection. That accounted for a high field goal percentage in the first half.
Shaq, let's get your insight on Charlotte.
What impressed me the most was the effort they put into the offensive glass. The second chance points really added up for them. Fighting through box out, battling for position, they owned the offensive boards.
And that wraps up halftime as the game is set to get back underway. Let's send it back to Kevin Harlan and crew. They are standing by courtside.
The scene at night here in Uptown Charlotte, where we welcome you back to the action. Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out a way here in the third. Terrence Ross with a strong contribution so far in this one.
And the approach of that first half was an aggressive one. Take it to the teeth of the defense, put them on the heels, and you're either going to score or get to the line.
And mostly he's been getting to the line, guys. I mean, he has the free throw total to show for it, as well as the bumps and bruises.
Michael Kidd-Gilchrist out there with Kemba Walker. Then it's Kaminsky, then there's Bellinelli, and it's O'Brien in at the 4 slot. And that's the group for Steve Clifford as we begin the second half. Now here's Fournier. He feeds it to Ross. 6 to shoot to the inside. And it's Gordon missing.
Now that's terrific defense at the rim. Got right in his path.
And you know they'll be conscious of him next time they take it inside, too. I mean, that's what really good defenders do. They make you think about their presence.
Here's O'Brien. Gordon with the defensive effort. Magic leading by 6. And Vucevic.
Sublime stuff. Guys, absolutely sublime.
Agreed. He's going to start putting on a show now.
That's usually how it goes. I mean, once they're in front, they really cut him loose.
And that last replay courtesy of Kia. Here's Kidd-Gilchrist. The Magic hitting the bucket. Left side Walker. And Vucevic pulls it down. Vucevic has got his 6th rebound on the night. Gordon with the screen for Ross. Gordon a screen. Fournier dishes to Vucevic. Right around a minute and a half played here in the third quarter. Kaminsky, and a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
And you don't ever want to get into the habit of letting the offense get to the rim.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, that's the message they were sending with that foul. Nothing easy inside.
He shot well from the line tonight, going 4 for 5. The free throw drops for Kaminsky. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. 90 seconds now into the second half. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, the Charlotte Hornets made a concerted effort last season to improve what had been terrible three-point shooting. Coach Steve Clifford said, if you look at trends in this league, three-point shooting percentage was the #1 factor why teams won. That's the way this league is gone. It makes sense, right? Create spacing, which opens up things for everybody else. Devin?
Yeah, trying to space the floor. Thank you, D.A. Clock at 4, and here's Walker outside. And the Hornets miss again.
Another rebound hauled in. They're hitting the glass with a lot of passion.
Guys, that's been the key to their lead. I mean, simply put, the effort they've displayed on the glass has been the difference.
And they're 1 of 4 here to start the second half.
Second half of play with just under 2.5 minutes gone. Uncovered. And it's Walker again missing.
And the shots just continue to say no in terms of falling. Oh, phenomenal alley-oop slam there.
They are taking advantage of a team that looks lost out there.
Boy, I tell you what, guys, this is really getting close to being real ugly.
And now we're 3 minutes into the third quarter of play. Kaminsky sets the pick for Walker. Walker missing again.
And he's been way off the mark this quarter. It's been ugly.
It's stolen by Kaminsky. 16 feet away. That one's good, and the Magic lead is cut down to just 6 points with the basket from Bellinelli.
Oh, he had him spinning. He looks like he's dizzy after that crossover.
Payton outside. He dishes it to Gordon. Fournier for 3. Walker with some nice deep. The Hornets have gone only 1 of 6 from the field in the third quarter. Not how they pictured the half started. There's a good screen. There's the triple. Walker missing again.
He's lost it in this quarter, no doubt about it. Nothing seems to be going for him.
Ross in the corner. From downtown, they get it back. Vucevic, and Vucevic throws it down.
Quite honestly, Vucevic is one of the most aggressive and best rebounders in the association.
Hornets trail by 8. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
And they need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Here's Walker, and it's blocked by Gordon.
And they continue to control the glass.
Guys, I think they've simply been the more physical team, and that's why they're ahead.
Shot from 12, and that one comes up a bit short. Magic leading by 8. Down low. That's in, coming off an assist from Payton. Payton's got his 8th assist in the game.
He shot the ball exceptionally well as they built this lead for themselves here.
Elfrid Payton and Aaron Gordon go back. They played together for USA's under-19 squad that won gold in the 2013 World Championships.
And you go back to that team, Payton was a surprise starter after joining as a late addition. So Marcus Smart was another player on that team. Boy, I tell you what, that's a lot of defense and athleticism between those three.
Clearly, he's not pleased with all the looks they've given up on the inside, and also to get them to tighten up that defense.
Yeah, and I think he's going to let them know about it. I mean, they're playing some soft interior defense, and you can't win that way. That's a recipe for disaster if you're not going to play with some physicality inside.
Charlotte making a switch here. Zeller's checked in. Walker with it. 9 points in the game so far. And Bellinelli kicks to Zeller, and it's blocked by Gordon.
Good defensive instincts there displayed by Gordon. Reading the shooter all the way and timing the rejection perfectly.
Pass to Fournier. Kicks it to Gordon. Payton in the corner. Ted Gilchrist with the steal. Feeds to Kaminsky. Orlando grabs the miss. Vucevic has got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active. And the call will be against Fournier. That's foul number 2 for him. Some changes for Charlotte. Graham's checked in, and Sessions subbed in for Kemba Walker. And a change for the Magic. DJ Augustine's checked in for Elfrid Payton. And Sessions kicks to Kid Gilchrist. Sessions passes to Zeller. Back to Sessions. Takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely. Sessions has got his second bucket of the night. Magic leading by 8. Now Augustine hits Fournier on the wing. Pass to Augustine. And threw the ball out of bounds. Fournier last touched it.
Over these last 10 games on the Magic schedule, this is how they stack up right here. 8th in steals, 8th in fast break points. And this is also what I would call a pretty solid offensive rebounding team. I mean, they've got a top 10 ranking in the second chance points category.
And let me add a few words about all their steals. I mean, they bring that toughness and aggression defensively. You don't get to be a top 10 team in that category by accident.
Now here's Sessions. He has 6. The shot's good. 16 points for Frank Kaminsky.
Yeah, one of the few bright spots for his team. I mean, he's had a very efficient offensive performance.
No telling how much larger the lead would be if it wasn't for his shooting. I mean, come on, this guy's kept him in.
Vucevic dishes to Gordon. Misses off the right iron.
I tell you what, the defense should send Christmas cards for that miss.
Here's Graham. And Vucevic pulls it down. Vucevic has got 11 rebounds in the game. And now let's check in on the 2 guards from around the league and see which one of them is playing the stingiest defense over the span of the last 10 games. Second is Michael Kid Gilchrist.
And this is a very intense group. I mean, those steals don't come by accident. I mean, they've gotten him through the effort, and they're willing to expend that kind of energy on that aspect of the game.
Well, the most active hands in the league, I think, belong to those fellas right there. 2 shots. That is one pesky bunch of pickpockets. And he makes the first. And some changes here for the Hornets. Miles Plumlee's checked in for Frank Kaminsky. And Jeremy Lamb subbed in for Kid Gilchrist. Then for the Magic, Biyombo is checked in for Vucevic. Green comes in for Aaron Gordon. And Mario Hezonja subbed in for Fournier. That one falls, so he hits both of them. Hornets trail by 8. Now here's Sessions. He has 6. And here is Lamb. To the middle, Plumlee. It's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
And a chance to check out the stats for Ross. How's the last month of basketball been for him? He's putting up about 16 points a game, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. And he's been putting up points with regularity. I mean, that's what they depend on, his killer instinct on offense.
Yeah, and anytime this club needs a bucket, he's their go-to. Just irrepressible and a prolific scorer.
And that one misses.
You look at what Plumlee has done so far. He's got 10 points, and he has 1 steal to his credit as well.
And Clark, he's just done a great job defensively. That 1 steal doesn't tell the whole story.
Jody Meeks, he's checked in for Terrence Ross. He hits the second from the line. Here's Augustine. Here's the lob to the... Was that beautiful.
Oh, phenomenal alley-oop slam there.
They are taking advantage of a team that looks lost out there.
Well, I tell you what, guys, this is really getting close to being real ugly.
Sessions, no good.
and they hold a huge advantage on the backboards.
Greg, and that's been the key to this league. I mean, they've really dominated the glass. The easiest way to do it sometimes is with the bounce pass.
Free throw drops for Green, and the Hornets call time here.
Just trying to get a break in the action to clear some heads here. I mean, they've gone ice cold, and not a bad idea to give them a little quick breather.
Yeah, they needed the timeout here. Anything to try to get them to forget about the missed shots and get themselves back on track.
Hornets trail by 12. Here's Sessions. He has 6. Dishes to Plumlee. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. Jeff Green picks one up. And a closer look here at the hustle stats for the Magic.
We've seen them make the extra effort from a defensive standpoint, closing out airspace and sending shots back.
They haven't wasted time getting the ball up the court tonight either, and it's resulted in a lot of fast break points.
So he comes up empty at the line.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Guys, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they've been absolutely dominant.
And that one's good. Sessions.
Such a strong finisher on the fast break.
And Greg, I love the fact he's always in control. Even though he's going at breakneck speed, he still maintains his body control.
Now here's Biyombo. He has 7. Offensive rebound. And Augustine kicks to Biyombo. Now the feed to Meeks. Sessions against Augustine. And good that time. Augustine's got 5 now.
Textbook. Nice pass. Great catch. Even better finish.
Some good numbers in this one for Sessions. He has 8 points, and he's been delivering a healthy dose of helpers, too.
He really has, Clark. Always with his head up, looking to make the pass, trying to find the open man.
The first one falls. And so Sessions nails both of them. Magic leading by 10. Augustine with it. He's got 5. There's the screen. Down low. It's deflected. And stolen by Graham. Here's Sessions. Great touch on the 16-footer. 12 points for him. Magic have gone 7 for 16 in the second half from the field, shooting a bit under 50%. Outside, Green. To the inside, and stolen by Graham. To the paint, here's Plumlee. Makes the bucket. Now he's got 5 field goals, 5 for 8 in the game.
Well, they certainly didn't have much of a problem getting the ball into the post that time.
Yeah, and that's important because this game may ultimately come down to which team controls the paint in crunch time.
Now here is Augustine to the wing right side. And Meeks kicks to Biyombo. Back to Meeks. 6 on the shot clock. 17-foot shot on the way. And it's Biyombo with the jam.
And Kevin, plays like that are really the reason they've got a nice lead right now. Just a great job on the glass.
And Greg, the jam and the follow gets their whole bench jumping. Look at them. They are really into it.
Yeah, they sure are. And that's a little salt in the wound there. I mean, they take a miss and turn it into one of the plays of the game. That hurts.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
Yeah, and they're really getting pummeled on points in the paint here.
Here's Sessions. Biyombo with the block. And it's out of bounds. The Hornets able to retain possession here.
And while we got a chance, let's look at some numbers for Zeller. 9th in shooting percentage, and he's as opportunistic as anybody defensively, ranking among the top 15 league-wide in steals per game.
And, you know, back to his phenomenal efficiency from three. His consistent shooting creates a lot of openings in the defense.
And I don't care how far from the bucket he is. You've got to have a man on him. He's just too good from deep.
Now here's Green. He's got 10. Biyombo, the pass to Hezonja. Graham with the rebound. Hornets trail by 7. When you look at Mario Hezonja, 6'8". Guys, you see him as more of a small forward or a shooting guard?
Well, I think he's a swing man. You can play him at both positions undoubtedly. He's got small forward size and the athleticism and scoring ability to play the shooting guard spot. I think it just depends on the matchups and what you're trying to get done in any given game.
And so it's Charlotte with it after the Magic pick up 2. And that one falls for Zeller. And he can't hit the second. Orlando leading by 8. Here's Augustine. He drains the quick shot. Augustine's got 4 points now in the quarter.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
Well, once they recognized the advantage they had inside, it made a lot of sense just to continue to attack that area. That's a clean look they gave him there, fellas, and he drains those.
There's the pass to Hezonja. Here's Meeks. Plumlee with the steal. Augustine with the steal. Fast break now for Charlotte. Takes a shot at the elbow. Graham dishes to Land. Picked by Zeller. Fires from deep. And no good that time. The third quarter comes to a close. Magic lead by 8. And we're coming right back after this break to get the fourth quarter underway. The fourth quarter just moments away now as we welcome you back. Hornets trail by 8. Fourth quarter on the floor for the Magic. The guard tandem is Payton and Fournier. Terrence Ross is out there with Aaron Gordon, and it's Biyombo at the center locking down the middle. The shot by Kaminsky, nobody around, and right on target with the swish. Kaminsky's got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for Charlotte. Magic leading by 6. Gordon a screen, Payton with the ball. He's picked up by Walker. Gordon kicks to Payton, 9 feet out. But they recover it. Fournier passes to Payton. Back to Fournier. Second chance shot. Hornets with the rebound. Deflects the pass. Ross with the steal. And he comes up with the deuce.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
A little over a minute of the fourth quarter gone right now. Now Payton. It's Fournier on the wing. A three-pointer, no good.
Not his best game, but they're still getting it done collectively. Oh, that's a golden opportunity to finish on the break, and he blows it.
Yeah, at this level, you got to make that shot. It's plain and simple. You got to knock that one down. And, you know, Elfrid Payton's first sport was football. His father played in the Canadian League. But after Hurricane Katrina hit, Payton's New Orleans area youth team disbanded. And Payton moved to Texas and then decided to focus on hoops instead. I don't know how that happened in Texas, as crazy as they are about football there.
The first free throw is good. And Elfrid Payton, a late bloomer in basketball, he was always the smallest player on his high school team until a growth spurt his junior year of high school.
And that may be why he was so lightly recruited coming out of high school, guys. He ended up going to the University of Louisiana at Lafayette. Not what you would call a powerhouse, but it all worked out because he's where he hoped to be, playing in the NBA.
And so Fournier nails both of them.
We're still waiting for that first miss from the line this half.
100% since halftime? Come on now. I'm not sure this lead's going away anytime soon with that kind of marksmanship.
Here's Bellinelli. Kaminsky in the corner. Off target with his three. Orlando leading by 8. Fournier gets a wide open look and a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Fournier's got 4 points this quarter.
From the mid-range area, Fournier very, very gifted. As a pure shooter, he's as good as we have in the league.
It's Bellinelli atop the key. They set the pick. He kicks to Kaminsky, 14 feet away. They get it again.
Tremendous effort. I mean, this guy has already cracked double digits on the backboard.
And those rebounds lead the team. I mean, he's been the tone setter for him today in terms of work ethic and glass eating.
Well, I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Yeah, if you're going to foul, then make sure that you don't give a chance for the and one. Nice numbers from Gordon. He's got 16 points and 2 blocks.
And guys, really impossible to say where he's been better, offensively or defensively.
I agree with you, Greg. I mean, he's not missed a beat at either end. That's obvious.
The free throw drops for Gordon. And he makes the first, but misses the second. Hornets trail by 11. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
And Walker kicks to O'Brien. Outside, Kid Gilchrist. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Bellinelli. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. And that one falls for Bellinelli. Both free throws good from Bellinelli. Here's Payton. Gordon a screen. Payton kicks to Gordon. No good that time. And Charlotte will go the other way with it. Kaminsky dishes to Walker. Outside, Bellinelli. They grab their own miss. The baseline J off the mark. Magic leading by 9. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, clearly he had an established position there.
Yeah, and I like this call because you want the refs in that situation. If there's any doubt, err on the side of giving the benefit of the doubt to the offensive player. That should have been a block, and it was.
Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. To the right side. Here's Walker. It's hauled in by Gordon. Gordon's got his 8th rebound here tonight. Fournier against Kidd-Gilchrist. Payton passes to Vucevic. And he gets that one to go off the front iron. And the Magic lead by 13.
Impeccable form of Vucevic. I mean, when he's shooting from the mid-range, that's a shot that he's going to make more times than not.
Now here's Walker. Back to Kidd-Gilchrist. Offensive rebound. O'Brien plays it up and banks it in.
He was the first one to react to that miss. Excellent anticipation on his part. A hustle play on the putback by him.
Kidd-Gilchrist against Fournier. The dish to Ross. Passes it to Vucevic. He feeds it to Payton. Back to Vucevic. 5 on the clock. From 18 feet away. And Vucevic throws it down.
His eyes just simply light up when he gets that close to the bucket. And you just know what he's going to do with the basketball.
Kicks it to O'Brien. Gordon with the defensive effort.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be because he is so strong in the paint.
Gordon a screen. It's Fournier on the wing. And the 3 off target. And Nikola Vucevic is going to pick up the foul. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. Hornets trail by 13. Outside, Walker. Some nice passing here by Charlotte.
And the execution in their half-court offense has left a lot to be desired this half. Just way too much one-on-one and not nearly enough ball movement.
And Vucevic kicks to Fournier. That's in for his 5th field goal of the game. Makes him 5 for 12 so far.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting in the paint and keep scoring points. Keep it going.
Not a lot you can do as a defense when they keep getting the ball in the paint like this.
Here's O'Brien. Back to Kidd-Gilchrist. He dishes it to Kaminsky. Vucevic with the block.
And you know, with Vucevic, as is the case with all shot blockers, it's about timing. And how can you bait that shooter into shooting a shot that you know you can block?
Fournier dishes to Gordon. And Fournier kicks to Vucevic. Ross for 3. And slam dunk by Vucevic.
And just scrapes and claws for that offensive rebound and doesn't take any chances there with the putback.
And GA, strong work all around. And the rebound and the stuff both. Wow.
Yep, he stayed with it all the way and got his reward at the end.
Here's Walker. The Magic getting the bucket. There's a screen. Outside, Bellinelli. Rebound by the Magic. Ross has got his 5th rebound right now in the game.
He's still looking for his first three-pointer of the second half after making just 1 in the first.
Payton, good.
I really enjoy seeing Payton concentrate at the level he does. I mean, he's used to getting bodied on some of his shots.
Walker against Payton. And Walker kicks to O'Brien. Outside, Walker. To the inside. And it's blocked by Gordon. And he gets it back. O'Brien, no good.
And boy, has he been struggling big time here in the quarter.
Yeah, he's played tight. I mean, you can see it. No flow at all to his game right now.
And Vucevic throws it down.
And, you know, when Vucevic gets in the zone and is rolling like this, you just have to make sure he gets his touches. Give him the ball.
Hornets trail by 21. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Walker the pass to O'Brien. Looking to end the drought. Tried to bank it in, but he misses.
Yeah, the offense seems completely in disarray.
Exactly. But at the other end, it's one bucket after the other. This run is getting out of hand right now.
Oh, they are putting the hammer down. A huge lead right now.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if we're talking about their offense or their defense. I mean, it's all been good.
Really crisp, intelligent passing to make that basket possible.
Now here's Payton. Pass to Fournier. Feeds it to Vucevic. Clock at 6. Back to Fournier. Fires from 18. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim. Charlotte's gone ice cold from three-point land. 0 of 4 since the start of the final quarter. And he makes that one.
Boy, just an excellent assist. Nice work from Kemba Walker.
Magic leading by 19. Payton kicks to Vucevic. Back to Payton from 18 feet away. Doesn't get it to drop for him. Walker with some nice D. And here is Kid Gilchrist. Walker at the elbow. Here's O'Bryant. The shot's good on the assist by Walker. O'Bryant's got 6 in the quarter.
And he can time his passes so perfectly. Wow, what an assist.
Payton dishes to Vucevic. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
And the one knock on Kemba really has always been the poor field goal percentage. But, you know, he seems to have made some strides in that department and has become a much more efficient shooter. And it's a big reason why I think he's playing the best basketball of his career.
2 shots.
Free throw good, Gordon. And for Walker, when you think about his improved shooting efficiency, the interesting thing is that those improvements were from nearly every spot on the floor.
Yeah, and for so long you were just waiting for Kemba to make that jump. And finally he did. A much more complete player now than he was when he entered the league.
Gordon hits both of them. Hornets trail by 19. Charlotte calls timeout.
Start it.
Well, you gotta like what Aaron Gordon has done in this game.
He's in one heck of a groove with his scoring. They're going to talk it over and try to figure out how to slow him down.
It's Kid Gilchrist on the wing. He's guarded by Fournier. Picked by Zeller. From deep, Walker. It's hauled in by Gordon.
I wonder if switching baskets really threw him off. I mean, because he can't get anything to fall this half.
Here's Payton. The Magic again can't hit. Hornets trail by 19. Right side to Walker. Zeller passes to O'Brien. Vucevic with the block. Oh, and here we go with Gordon. Nobody back. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Looking at the numbers for Vucevic, he's got 18 rebounds, and he's rejected more than his share of shots today.
An interior defense at its best, fellas. That's what we've seen out of him today.
Nikola Vucevic. 2 shots.
And he makes the first. And both free throws good for Vucevic. Charlotte shooting a meager 37% for the game. There's Walker with the three. Knocks down the three ball.
You might not think of him as a laser three-point shooter, but that shot was there for him, and he had to take it.
Gordon a screen. Payton outside. And the rebound goes to the Hornets. Kid Gilchrist has got 4 rebounds now tonight.
And so just rolling to the finish line now in what has been a very confident-looking performance for the Magic.
And it may be a comfortable win for him, but, you know, they had to weather a few storms along the way, but that's all part of the story.
Yeah, Kevin, this was by no means the runaway that it might appear to be. It was a scrappy performance, though, all the way through.
And an important milestone for them tonight as they pick up win number 10.
Man, always nice to get win number 1 against the opponent. You'll be seeing a total of this matchup 4 times over the course of the year. So they set the tone tonight, though, for their season series against the Hornets.
And so many key players that you could point to tonight, but in particular, a great game for Gordon. You can set a tone with defense, and that's exactly what he did with how he protected the rim.
And here are the Hornets now, following the miss by Aaron Gordon. 5 to shoot. Lets it go from deep. Sessions no good. And it's Orlando's ball. Earlier, they held a 23-point lead. And Meeks kicks to Augustine. Back to Meeks. Magic moving the ball around. Parked down low that time, and he got the 3-second call. And so here's Charlotte. They trail by 16. 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Sessions dishes to Lamb. Here's Wood. Kept alive.
Multiple possessions have been the story of the game, and even with the big lead, this team continues to be quicker to the ball.
Here's Augustine. And so it's Orlando taking this one by a big margin. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Kevin, thanks a lot. Nick, how did you guys get this win tonight?
We were really good on defense, and then once we get stops, we're very good on offense. We got some easy ones, and we just kept grinding, you know. We never let it back in the game, and it felt good to get this win tonight.
Great performance by you guys, Nick. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. Now it's time to head back to the studio with Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny Smith.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
And Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith. Without further ado, let's present our Jordan player of the game, Nikola Vucevic. Really answered the bell in the fourth quarter. He got into attack mode early. That fired up his teammates. End of story.
I know he's a center, guys, but Nick Vucevic is just as dangerous from the outside. I mean, that's a special talent to be able to play on the block and then take your man outside. It makes your defender helpless.
I know a thing or two about high field goal percentages, and his was insane tonight. Tells you about the quality of the looks he was getting. But even when the shot was contested, he still found a way to get it to go. Excellent game tonight.
And that'll do it for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. For Kenny Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal, for Kevin Harlan, and for the entire 2K Sports crew, this is Ernie Johnson. I hope you have a wonderful, even beyond wonderful, a spectacular, just great. I mean, see you.
Good night.